Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel Indian Life German Way. What if you're looking to get an IT job here in Europe, sitting in India? Is it really possible? And what you need to do in order to achieve that? Today I'm sitting with someone who has done exactly that. She got a couple of offers, one in here, Volkswagen in Germany, and later on she also got offers in Lithuania. And currently she is working in the IT field in Lithuania. And so in this video, I would like to talk and understand how and what needs to be done to make this possible. What kind of skill sets are needed in order to achieve that. We would talk about the visa application processes. We would try to understand the complexities involved, and then try to figure out if this is really possible for you when you are sitting in India and trying to get an IT job here in Europe. In this video, we would talk about the entire journey, how she landed up the job here in Germany, and then what unfortunate sequence of incidents led to the another job, which then she had to move to Lithuania. We would talk about the salaries, the job profile, the different recruiting processes involved, what kind of steps are needed for the visa processing and all of that, and what she would do today differently if she would do it again. So first of all, Tanu, welcome a lot on our channel. And before we kick in about the details, I would like to understand exactly about your background. So what kind of IT skill sets you have, since when you were looking to get or when you exactly tried to apply for jobs here in Europe? Were you specifically targeting Europe, and which countries in Europe? And I mean, what was the, let's say, the approach you took for this planning?
Well, yes, thank you for having me here. So, I would like to answer all of your questions. So, first of all, I was not targeting Europe only, but I tried couple of countries as well, like UK, Australia, and all. But I was unlucky over there, so I really did not get any offer because there were some different requirements for job offers and all. So then I thought, okay, Europe is something like I can go because I already visited here. So I found like I can live here. There is a language restriction, but I thought I can learn that, and I can see my future is better here in terms of positions, because I'm working in Salesforce. So I have total around 9 years of experience as a Salesforce developer. Back in India, I was working in IT company, and then I thought, okay, I was doing well over there, but I wanted to explore much, so that's why I chose Europe. Yeah.
And when did you started applying?
I started applying back in 2023. I would say that's what I remember, and then I got job in 2024, early 2024.
And did you do any particular, certifications in your field in Salesforce or?
Yes, I do. Because in Europe and in some other countries, they really look for the certification. So I'm holding 10 certifications in Salesforce. So
Okay.
that really helped.
So basically, you started looking out for jobs everywhere in IT, so outside of India. Then on top, you had a 9 years of experience with certifications in Salesforce, and then you started looking out for opportunities all across.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
So Tanu, now we would like to understand. So how did you actually find jobs sitting in India? Because I mean, I have a lot of people reaching out, and it's really not possible. So were you looking for specific job categories, or what kind of job portals you were looking at? And did you only apply for jobs where it was saying like visa sponsorship available, or what was your approach?
Well, my approach was basically I was applying for all the jobs over there. I was not looking for any specific category or anything. But later, when I found like all the unfortunate emails, and then I thought, okay, this is not working out. So I tried to look for more information what I can get. So I got to know there is one job seekers visa in Germany. So I applied for that. I prepared all the documentation and everything, gathered all information which was required. And once I got the visa, it was actually in pipeline, but I thought, okay, definitely if all my documentation is complete, so most probably I will get it. So then I tried to apply for jobs where there was no requirement for a visa or something like that. So just because I had the visa, so I applied for all the jobs, and I would say referrals really works here because that's the culture. So I try to connect with people on LinkedIn who were working in my profile, and I got to know there is somebody who can refer me. They definitely won't refer you because they don't know you. So I tried to connect with him, and we shared some communication over the job and some other things on my specialty. So then he thought, okay, this is she is somebody who can, crack the interview, and she is genuine. So then he referred me, and fortunately, after 7 rounds of interview, I got the job in Volkswagen.
Also, was you cracked a job at Volkswagen sitting in India using the Chanskarte, so like this visa that you can apply for getting jobs here in Germany. So you did that, and then you were looking to get in touch with different recruiters on LinkedIn, over LinkedIn.
Yes,
That's what you
right.
said, and then you got in touch with the person who helped you interview at Volkswagen because he was also working at Volkswagen, I
Yeah,
think.
he was. Yes,
So then you cracked 7 out of interviews, and then you made it.
yes,
So that's really aspiring.
yeah.
And then what else? I mean, did you do something else differently that you would recommend others?
Yes, I would say do all the certifications in your field because certifications really valuable here. Back in India, it was not really important, and people were not looking for specialized people who are holding the certifications. But here, it really matters. So if
Okay.
you are upskilling yourself, just go for the certification as well.
So Tanu, I also learned that you were not able to start working at Volkswagen. So what actually happened there, and how did you land up then afterwards job in Lithuania?
Since I was holding the job seekers visa, so there is a process that you need to convert that visa to blue card. I did the same, and but due to some unfortunate incidents, I had to go back to India. And then because I was holding the blue card as well as the job seekers visa, so I was trying for other jobs. And then from Lithuania, Accenture reached out to me, and then they told me if I'm still looking for job in Europe, and then I was because interested in Europe, so I said yes, and then there was a whole process of interviews and uh,
Onboarding process.
onboarding process. Yes.
Okay, so that's also really nice. So then Accenture reached out to you, and then you were able to crack again the interviews, and then finally you landed. So now finally you are in Lithuania.
Yeah, since 1.5 year, I'm working over there.
Okay. Now I would like to understand how many applications did you make it? I mean, I understood that you were applying since 2023, and then you were able to get a job somewhere in mid of 24 or early 25. So it took you around 18 to 24 months to have a proper job offer. I mean, in between you have some offers in Germany, and then you had to move back, and then you got another one. So during this whole time frame, how many applications did you apply? How many were converted into, let's say, interviews, and then how many final offers did you receive during this whole 2 years time frame?
Well, when I was not holding the job seekers visa, I was getting some interviews lined up, but they were not really successful because the main reason was because I did not had any visa, and they were looking for people who they don't want to sponsor, and it takes a lot of documentation, and company needs to provide so many documentation and efforts. So many companies really don't want to do this because it takes a lot of time to onboard a person from India. And but once I got the job seekers visa, I would say I got more opportunities. I gave like 5 to 6 interviews, and then I chose Volkswagen over there. Yeah. But in couple of I would say in interviews I faced racism, so that's why I was really unhappy about it.
Okay.
So that's why I did not process further.
So now going back to the tools. I mean, you had all these interviews lined up only through LinkedIn, or were you using other portals as well?
I was using majorly LinkedIn because people are really active over there, but I tried couple of other tools as well, which are local in Germany. So like Hey Jobs and some other I don't
Zing,
remember.
I think
Zing, yeah.
And were you also in contact with some consulting companies, because that might also sound like a way forward, because you can get in touch with some consulting companies who are hiring people for German companies, or some other in each country, right? So there can be consulting companies. So did you also follow that approach?
No, I didn't, because I had few people like they are already in Germany, and I could get all the information from them, and I really don't want to spend money over there where I do not trust people, and I wanted to spend my own time and energy and efforts to experience that, because this was the whole journey. I would not say just getting job in Lithuania or in Germany. It's just simple. It was a whole efforts, a wholesome journey, I would say.
So now that bring me to my next question. What was different, or what is different between Germany and Lithuania? Because you experienced both sides. So in terms of salaries, living standards, job itself, language, all these things, which one would you prefer? And if tomorrow you need to come again, or if someone wants to come, which country should they choose?
Well, as per my experience, I really like both the countries, but if definitely depends on your priorities. If you are really career oriented and you want to make a big difference in your salaries and living standards, definitely I would say Germany is better option. And but in Lithuania, I would say there is a sense of calmness, and because in back in India there is a lot of chaos, and if you really want to spend your time in forest and calm city, so then definitely I would say Vilnius. But in Germany you will get more opportunities for your career, and there are more benefits, I would say. Then Germany is a better country in living. But some people still choose Lithuania because they really like to stay there. It's not chaotic at all. There is no language barrier, because in Germany you have language barrier, you need to learn.
Yeah.
But in Lithuania, no, everybody speaks English, and you will really not face any problem in terms of language communication. And when you will try to find job, then all the jobs are in English. So they are trying to make some changes for students and all, but for IT, it's still just the requirement of English.
So I understood. So Germany is more paying, so you get better paying jobs
Yes.
here. Language complexity is here. It's also more bureaucratic here in Germany. You have a lot of paperwork. I think also in Lithuania, maybe, I don't know. But in
Lithuania
terms
is more digitalized.
more digitalized,
Yeah.
okay. And in terms of hiring difficulty and the HR processes, visa processes, you would say it's same.
It's kind of similar.
Yeah.
Everything is similar.
Okay, okay. I think that helps. So if someone needs to move, they should move to Germany. I mean, if they only look at salary, but if you want to have a broader aspect, then also Germany is a little bit preferable. I mean,
Yes.
yeah, okay. So now comes the next part, which is the visa and relocation. So I understood that Accenture hired you sitting in India. They were offering you everything. So the relocation package. So what exactly was covered as part of the relocation package, and how long did this whole process take after the interview selection process?
Well, it takes 6 months, I would say,
Oh,
and because there was a lot of documentation involved, and because my spouse was also traveling with me, so his visa process took some time. So they paid for everything. And there was some certain amount, so you can't cross that amount, but they paid for my flight, relocation. Well, in Lithuania there is one requirement that your degree, your spouse degree, and your marriage certificate needs to be apostilled and also translated into Lithuanian language.
Yeah, okay. It's
So,
also here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was also paid by Accenture, and for other documentation as well, like insurance and your travel.
And did they also give you like an apartment when you moved in Lithuania for some days, or did you have to search for on your own?
No, I had to. They did not give the apartment, but they assigned one agency. So the
That
broker
helps you
can.
find, yeah.
Yes, exactly. But we did it by our own.
Okay,
so-
okay. So now talking about the interview process. So I understood at Volkswagen in Germany you had 7 rounds. Okay, that was extensive. How many rounds did you really had in Accenture Lithuania?
I would say 3 rounds.
Okay.
It was pretty smooth. There was a HR round and then technical round and then just the manager round.
Okay.
It was pretty quick as well.
So this interview process took how many weeks or months?
I think 1.5 month.
Okay. Mhm. So now comes the most important question about salary expectations, because if someone is trying to apply from India, right, they will not know what kind of salaries to ask. And even I read a lot of comments on Facebook. People are asking if they get an offer, the company is offering me XYZ amount of money. Should I take it? Is it enough? Can I save money? So how did you decide and how did you proceed on this salary aspect?
Well, in my company, it really depends on the band, which for what they are hiring you, and there is certain limit that you can't cross that limit, and they will definitely not offer you more than that. But I would say to do your own little bit of research of market before taking any offer.
Yeah.
Just as per your skill set, experience, just try to explore market and have communication with people who can help you to know, okay, what you can land over there. So in my company, for my experience, I would say because it was already mentioned in the job description that they will give between this amount to this amount, and I try to also negotiate with HR, but I got to know that they can't cross the amount which
limits,
was
yeah.
already mentioned in the job description. Yeah.
Okay, so the conclusion is salary in most of the companies is depending on the experience, and they have defined bands, and each band has a certain salary bracket, and you normally fall within this bracket.
Yes.
And if you need to go or cross this bracket, then you need to go to the next level. Yeah, so that is the so that is the key takeaway. And then secondly is, you if you are not aware of these bands or how this works, then you should try to get an idea searching in the market to see what your relevant skill sets are, your experiences, and then technology, and then what kind of salaries you can expect. So you should try to do your own research. What are the biggest mistakes that applicants make during this recruiting process, as per you?
I think what people do, they make a very generic CV, and that should be especially in the European format if you are applying in Europe.
Yeah.
And also, people really don't prepare themselves for interview, because here the HR definitely ask you the background of the company and what they do.
Yeah.
So if you are applying for any job, so and you got the interview aligned, so I would suggest that please go and read about the company, because definitely HR will ask about that. And people also make some unrealistic expectation around salary, so I would say please little bit research will help. So just make a realistic expectations.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. I just want to add, because you mentioned HR talking about company profile. I think it's also I see also in a lot of interviews, the HR also more concerned about how you are gonna integrate in the team, because you're coming from a different background, different country. It also it also makes a lot of, I mean, there are a lot of people who think about it here in Germany, at least. I don't know if Lithuania is the same, but they want you to integrate, and they really want to see and understand your values, where you are coming from, how you would fit in the team. Yeah, and this is also really important, and HR tries to seek answers to these questions as well.
yes, here I would like to say, because I experienced that team building, team
Yes.
collaboration is really important for them, and there is a specific interview process where they will take some people from the team, and then they will be in the panel, and they will try to see if you are collaborating with them, how you are gelling up.
Yes.
Because team collaboration is really important here.
Yes.
And
So there is team round in some
yeah.
of the companies, so you
Yes.
need to talk to your colleagues or your future colleagues, and
Exactly.
they also should get a good impression of you. Yeah, so this also matters here
Yeah.
in Europe. Now we are towards the end of our interview, and just one final question: if me or someone having, like, I don't know, 3 to 5 years of experience sitting in India or some other country, they want to relocate to Europe in IT industry, what should they do in next 6 months so that this can be possible?
I think they should focus on their CV first
Yep.
of all, and then I will suggest do the certifications, whatever relevant certifications
Yeah.
you have in your stream. Also, I would say a little bit focus on AI, because
Yeah.
here in Europe everybody is looking for people who are into little bit of AI, whether you are technical, non-technical, but you have a little bit of information around that.
Yeah.
And also
Improve your LinkedIn. Yeah.
upskill yourself a little bit, improve your LinkedIn profile,
Yeah.
make it a little strong,
Yeah.
connect with people who can help you, in collaboration, go to the seminars and try to collect some certifications from there as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, in terms, also in addition, we also talked about, right? You need to plan your interviews. You do not, take them lightly. Also
Exactly.
prepare about the company, the profile itself, and spend some time doing research when you're lucky enough to get a, let's say, job interview message. So yeah, prepare accordingly. Yeah, and then as Tanu said, you need to do all these steps and be patient, because this takes time. It takes, as she had to undergo roughly a couple of years. Yeah, she put a lot of efforts doing all of these activities. So it takes time to until you get the final, let's say, results. Yeah, so don't be impatient or don't lose heart. Keep focused and keep trying.
Just keep on trying.
Yeah. So, guys, now it's time for me to wrap up. Is it possible to get a job here in Europe? Absolutely, yes. You need to stay focused, calm, and follow the steps that we already mentioned in our video. Thanks a lot, Tanu, for your insightful session and sharing all your knowledge and experience of the last 2 years, 3 years with us. And I just want to quickly mention that Tanu's husband, he's also working in Lithuania, and he came on a dependent visa. And I would like to capture another video with him to understand, because I also see there are a lot of partners who want to join their spouses and partners, and also want to get jobs, right? So there is a separate process to that. I would like to cover that in a separate video, and I hope this video brings some value to you. Please do consider liking, sharing, and subscribing to my YouTube channel, and I will see you next time. Till then, have a nice one. Bye.
Bye.